Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for an all new episode recap of today's Daysofourlives, February 5th, 2026. So we start off with things at Bayview, and Kristen gets the chance to tell Dr. Gregory, like, look, this is not working out for Rachel and I want to take her out of here. And Dr. Gregory is advising against it because she just started her treatment here. You know, she needs to still be in Bayview, and Kristen begs to differ because she hasn't been doing any better. And you know, she was open to doing this whole family therapy thing until she noticed that there was notes continuing to be sent in between Sophia and Rachel, even though they said that it wouldn't happen again. And Dr. Gregory was trying to apologize, but again, she can't trust anything out of her mouth. And then she doesn't really want to hear about accepting Brady and Sarah possibly being a thing, even though Brady thinks that she still needs to stay here even upon advice from Marlena. It's just that he doesn't like the idea between Sophia and Rachel communicating, and he wants there to be more stricter guidelines. They are disagreeing to agreeing on this at this point, and at some point, you know, Rachel comes in from her session, and Dr. Gregory leaves to talk to Sophia. Rachel is like, what's really going on here? Now, they try to explain to her that things are not really going on so well. They're still trying to figure out whether or not she needs to leave Bayview. She asks her mom if that's going to happen, and she said she really can't give her a complete answer. You know, they started bickering amongst each other, and Rachel silenced them and said that, I hate when you guys start fighting, and they're apologizing to her. And I'm just saying, I really hate how Rachel commands respect from these two, and yet still they can't get back the same kind of respect from her as the child. And the fact that she wants answers when they don't really owe her no answers when it comes on to you know, what they're gonna do with her, right? She just needs to just stay in the child's place, but yet still she has all this disrespect towards them. She's shouting at them. I really am not here for it, especially Kristen, who's supposed to be, you know, big, bad, and brave, and yet still she can't really, like, you know, command respect from her own daughter. Like, come on now. Anyways, Kristen had to go because remember, today is, you know, their dad's memorial. She didn't tell Rachel exactly what's going on, but she leaves, and she said when she comes back she will make sure that things are really straightened out. Now she asked Brady, like, why can't you let mommy take me home? And Brady's like, it's more complicated than that. And before he could even get into it, Tate and Holly come, and you know, they're there to you know, talk to Sophia. Tate is there to support Rachel and, you know, back up Brady on this whole thing. So yeah, that was really it with them. Now earlier, Holly and Tate, they were just doing what they always do, you know, doing what they're doing in bed, and they're having time alone to themselves. And then Ari walks in. Ari didn't even know they were there, and you know, I guess some communication didn't happen, and you know, that's how Ari was able to just, you know, walk in on them. And she apologized. So she said, you know what, I'm just gonna go, because she was supposed to be at an internship, but she got let out earlier, and that's how, you know, this whole thing happened. So Tate is laughing about it, you know, but Holly's embarrassed because she didn't want Ari to see them like this, even though, come on now, I'm sure Ari have an idea that you guys probably have been intimate, you guys are in a relationship. So Holly gets a call from Dr. Gregory to see Sophia. Sophia wants to apologize for what happened earlier, the last visit, and Tate is saying, you know, are you sure that's a good idea? So she said, you know, she wasn't in her right mind. Maybe she's, you know, wanting to take responsibility. Let me just hear out and just put it behind me once and for all. Now, at the same time, Sophia is there watching Holly and Ari do their rushing thing, and she's just pitiful and just vindictive, plotting her next move to mess up Holly's life, and, you know, write, you know, disparaging comments about her on, I guess, the sorority page or whatever. And I'm just saying, like, Sophia, you need to get a life, get help, move on, because it's getting ridiculous now, your storyline. Now, I'm surprised that Rafe was able to leave Alemania and come back in quick time, because the way how they made it sound on the other episode, him and Eli, is like it was a long trip to Alemania, a long and bumpy one at that. But anyways, he's back in Salem and he tells Gabby what's happened with Stefan, that it is confirmed to be Stefan's tombstone. He's actually dead, and she's numb at this point because she has definitely been crying over it, and now she's just really numb. Now they can have closure. But then he tells her that, look, she spoke with a former maid, and the maid told him that Stefan was brought to Alemania against his will, away from everybody in Salem, away from everything, including Gabby. He wanted to work it out with her, but Vivian doesn't want that to happen. Vivian could see that despite their separation, they were still in love. They still, it still feel as if they would, just start over again, and she wasn't having that. So Gabby saying, look, Rafe, whatever you need to do to make sure that Vivian pay for doing this to Stefan, like, make sure it's happened. And he said that he'll do examine. He also asked her for the copy of the divorce paper to really see if this is really a forged document, if Stefan really signed this or it's just a fake document. So she gives him that. She doesn't have anything else to compare with, because when he first sent it, or allegedly, she threw out everything that reminded her of him. But again, she just wanted closure. She has moved on, and she just wished that it didn't happen to him in this way. So Ari also came home, and she could tell that her mom was upset. She asked her mom, is everything all right? So she said she has some bad news. So she's like, is it about her uncle Gabriel? And she said, no, it's about Stefan, that Stefan is actually dead. It's been confirmed. And she's sorry to hear that. And she just said that he was great in the relationship. Apart from all the mistakes and everything, he was a great guy, charming, funny, and she just wished that didn't happen to him. But at least she have closure. She can move on. She's with Philip now, and they're gonna enjoy Valentine's Day in Miami, even though it was at that place where she found Stefan in bed with Chloe. She still wants to make better memories there. She didn't tell Philip exactly why she didn't like the idea of going back to that same location, but she said maybe it can be different this time. And Ari is happy for her and wishes her the best. She is a strong woman, and she said, not all the time, but I have to set an example for you. So they hug it out, and that was really it with them. So we go on to Rafe and Kristen. Now Kristen is at the Demer mansion. She showed up for the memorial, and Rafe comes over. He wants to talk to Dimitri to find out some things about him and his story about being captured in Alemania. Now she doesn't know where he is, and he asks about EJ, and then she's like, are you here to arrest him? Says like, no, I don't have nothing to arrest him on. So she's like, have you thought about our plan to take him down? Says like, anyways, do you know where he's been? And she said he's out looking for I guess a repository for Stefano's ashes to be interred into. And he also told her that I'm here to see if he still has that I guess get well card, something like that. So Kristen said he doesn't really like to be sentimental, so I'm not sure he does have it. So you guys were in Alemania, what was going on? So he said he cannot talk about the ongoing investigation. However, he can tell her that Stefano has been confirmed to be dead, and now she's like, at this point death seems to follow this family, and at this point everybody is definitely not immortal, right? Even the great Stefano, ashes to ashes, dust to dust at this point. So he's sorry for her loss, and she's talking about going back to the crib and giving her father a proper burial place, and he's like, you don't have to go there. And she said, yeah, but I have to just put it behind me. Holly comes over to, meet up with Sophia and Dr. Gregory, and Sophia gives her a note apologizing for how she came across the last visit, that she was sorting out her feelings. She didn't mean to slap her. Dr. Gregory also assured that there won't be any physical contact, and Sophia is aware of that. So Sophia also said that she is upset at Holly for taking Tate and knowing that she was interested in him, and how, some things were definitely her fault. And Holly apologized. She took accountability, and they shook on it. At some point, I guess Sophia made this whole stage to let the bag, Holly's bag, fall down to the ground, and then she's, trying to help them, but then she puts the pills in there. So apparently these pills are supposed to mess up Holly's face or just make her not have any recollection of anything, whether it is a relationship with Tate, the sorority thing, her whole physique, whatever. Sophia's trying to mess that up, right? At some point, when she was leaving and she was glad that everything worked out well, Sophia's just there snarky and just calling the girl a bitch and all of that, right? At some point, she goes back to Tate and Rachel and Brady, and they're talking about going swimming or making plans. And she asked her how things went with Sophia. She said it went well, and she and Tate talk, and she said, we're moving on to our better path and all that. And I'm saying, Holly, you are so trusted at this point, because if somebody slapped me, I'm not coming back there to even hear them out. They can just go straight to hell, honestly. But yeah, that was it, guys. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to my channel, comment below your thoughts on today's episode. Let me know. I will see you guys tomorrow.